The Parable of the Steadfast Tin Soldier. Once there was a toy ballerina who lived in the toy room with all the other toys. Now the ballerina was quite popular, in part because she had been made with one leg that extended well above her head. But this was not the only reason why she was most beloved of all the other toys, for they had seen her dance without complaining for the scared new toys in the toy room. They had seen her taking the time to joke with the old stuffed animals that had most of their stuffing pulled out. They had seen her patiently laughing at the same joke from the Jack-in-the-Box. So she had been placed in a place of honor on the highest shelf in the toy room. Also in the toy room was a squad of 25 soldiers who, for reasons that make sense primarily in the world of parables, were made from the tin of one single spoon. This resulted in enough tin for precisely 24 1/2 tin soldiers. For Steadfast Soldier number 25, there was only enough tin for one leg. And once soldier number 25 saw the ballerina, he became quite smitten and, well, steadfast. Some said it was because as he looked up he could not see her other leg and felt a degree of empathy with her. Others said it was just because he was looking up, if you catch my drift, and became, well, steadfast. Now the steadfast tin soldier was mute in his admiration, staring at the ballerina from his vantage point, lying down at full length behind a snuff box, staring up steadfastly. For a full day and half a night, the steadfast tin soldier stared at the ballerina. And at first the ballerina almost thought it was endearing. He stared at her as she danced for the new toys, saying nothing, steadfastly. "How cute," said the ballerina. "He's just like a puppy dog." He stared at her as she joked with the old stuffed animals, saying nothing, steadfastly. "How less cute," exclaimed the ballerina. "You really need to say something, soldier boy." He even stared at her as she patiently laughed at the same joke from the Jack-in-the-Box. "Hey, you!" shouted the ballerina. "I know you have a voice and a brain. Why don't you try using those as well?" But still the tin soldier said nothing, steadfastly. The deviant behavior of tin soldier number 25 caused a meeting of all the other toys. "A little peek every now and then is okay," was the general consensus. "And she does have great legs, but staring for 36 hours without saying a word is just gross." "And very creepy," added the ballerina. "Please make him stop." "You got it," said general consensus. "We will take care of it tonight." So, at midnight, the Jack-in-the-Box popped up and addressed the steadfast tin soldier. "Tin soldier," said the Jack-in-the-Box, "have the goodness to keep your eyes to yourself." But the tin soldier feigned not to hear, and even worse, he remained silent and steadfast. "I know some girls think that being gazed at perpetually is romantic," said the ballerina at breakfast the next day in the toy room. "But I do not. I find it just creepy and icky, and especially when all they do is stare steadfastly." So the next morning, the rest of the toys put the toy soldier, still steadfast, on the window frame, and from there he was either pushed or encouraged to fall to the street below. And there the story might have ended happily for the ballerina, except that the tin soldier was found by some boys, who put him in a paper boat that made it to the ocean, where it was eaten by a fish, who was caught and sold to the cook of the house of the toy room, and thus the steadfast tin soldier was returned to the toy room with the ballerina and all the other toys. And throughout it all, the tin soldier remained steadfast in his devotion to the ballerina. Needless to say, the other toys were not happy to see the steadfast tin soldier and his fixed, staring eyes once again appear in the toy room. This time, not trusting the capricious nature of parable fiction writing authors, Guido, the stuffed hippo, and the steadfast tin soldier took a friendly little walk, and somehow wound up on the mantel above the nearest fireplace where, in the presence of literally dozens of witnesses who all later recounted the exact same story, the soldier tripped on a very big piece of lint. It was gray. And he fell into the roaring flames below. Give the tin soldier credit, though, he continued to stare at the ballerina as he melted in the fire. To wit, he looked at the little maiden, and she looked at him, and he felt that he was melting away, but he still managed to keep himself erect, shouldering his gun bravely. Now, not content with this ending, the original parable author or some misguided deity decided to intervene because a door suddenly opened and the sudden draft caused the ballerina to fall into the fire as well. And when the fire died down, all that was found of the steadfast tin soldier was his tin heart, and all that was left of the ballerina was a single spangle burnt black as coal. The moral. There maybe is a fine line, literal or legal, between steadfast and stalker, but to the victim, it pretty much feels the same.